Here we have a table with at least one category column in it. That's a text column storing the salesperson's name. And we have one value column. Now what I'm about to show you is how we can pivot the data, but this can be applied if you've got many value columns and many category columns. Now at the moment we can produce charts to show the split of sales, such as a pie chart, or we could filter to show the sales for just John over time, or we could totalize to show the total sales over time. But what we can't do is produce a chart which compares both John, Jane and Fred's sales over time on the same chart. Now to do that, we need to pivot the data. Now to pivot the data, we need to enable pivoted data views. To do that, go off to the table designer. Go to the table settings and click enable pivot data views. Now what this does is it creates an extra level of menu here on the left hand side, and in it we can go and add new data views. So there's our table, there's our table's data again, but now we can create a different viewpoint on the same data. The first thing we do is add a new pivot, and we get the choice here of giving it a name. So we can choose a name for our pivot which is based on a category column pivoted around a value column. Now in this particular case we only have one category and we only have one value. So we don't actually have a choice to make. And there is our pivoted table below, which you'll notice has flipped around and turned the values in our category column, the text in our category column, into columns automatically. So everybody who is a salesperson has automatically been pivoted and turned into a column in this particular case. When I'm done, and click save. And that's our pivoted data saved, and there it is. Saved on the left hand side. Now we have our data view, we can use it in our charts. So let's go back to our dashboard. This time let's go and add a new chart. Let's go and select from our table, so our sales by category column. We're going to create a new chart. Now pivot views only work on time charts, so let's flip over to a time chart, and you'll see that the data source is currently set to original table. But what we can do is now swap it to use our pivoted view, sales by sales value. Now you'll see in the columns drop down it has now created virtual columns based on our pivot table, including an automatically generated totals column. So I can go in here and add in the sales of each individual person, like so that we can compare them on a month by month basis. When I'm done, I can add that to my dashboard. And there is a pivot chart created from the same data set.